Hey audience, are you guys ready for picks and bans of game number 5? Honestly, these picks and bans have been just as exciting as the gameplay. Just seeing how they focus out certain gods and how they turn it around on the enemy team, it's fantastic.
There's no holding back any longer. Whatever spicy picks that these teams want to joke around about, that's fine with me throughout the regular season, but it's all on the line here now, and there's no options other than to bring it out.
Finally, the Naja ban coming out. They're not even going to try and pick it themselves. They say, no, neither one gets this god.
iceicebaby didn't have the greatest start because of that level 1 Aegis selection, but he had a great ending when he took out CycloneSpin. And speaking of CycloneSpin, he's gonna get his Freya the same way he did in game number 2.
And that game was so good. CycloneSpin was everywhere, and it wasn't just the back aggression. He wasn't just being careful. He was going in as Freya and killing everyone.
Yeah, once he hit that level 14, that's when the true power spike came online. He started to out-rotate Vote, made that presence. I think he helped in 3 of the kills in the mid lane, and it was Splyce's game from there on out.
There's basically 2 ways that this can go. Either Rival can just stack a hard crowd control on top of hard crowd control to keep this Freya CC for entirely too long for it ever have a fulfillment of her role in this match, or they just go for an all-in burst composition. But based on the Artio and Xbalanque, I have a feeling this is leaning a little bit more towards what I first mentioned.
I don't think they really want to face that Xbalanque again. We saw them all panic ult that one time with the Xbalanque ult, and they probably just want to take that off the board.
Yeah, but the difference between game 5 and game 2 is in this position, it was Naja and Geb selected out of Splyce, and those 2 gods are banned, so needing to kind of adapt to the situation. Terra has been selected, a great team fighting utility god.
Puch as well, and Splyce definitely did well with Puch, but like you were saying before, it was more defensive rather than offensive.
And last time Splyce picked up the Agni for Moswal. Great double magical between Freya and the Agni, good long-range artillery shots, this time mixing it up with the Puch. Not as much control with the Puch unless you're going to go for the Gem of Isolation.
But they've gotten 3 parts that they've wanted so far, at least on Splyce's side of things, because the Terra is going to be able to drop that Earthen Fury, on top of that Unleash the Crypts, or even for the Valkyrie's Discretion. Either way, it's very threatening towards Rival.
Got that Achilles band coming out there, not wanting to give it to Cyno. They know that Cyno here is really the playmaker. Everyone's doing a great job. Aror was doing some great picks in that last game, even though they lost. But Cyno here is the one, the early aggression, and the team just follows him behind.
It's impossible to ban him out any longer. There's no more jokes about like Naja 1 trick or Erlong 2 trick, right? Because he's going to play the Achilles, he's going to play the Robin, he's going to play the Ratatoskr. He has other gods in his god pool, so you got to respect this kind of newer land rookie, I would say, from Splyce. He hasn't been to many lands, but he's definitely showed up at the biggest stage.
Wukong now being banned out for the side of Splyce. Looks like they're both focusing out, I guess not really the jungle role or the solo role in particular, but because they're all flex picks there.
Well, Wukong is definitely going to be a Deathwalker pick. He loves to pick it into mage compositions, into Guardians, because he's going to build the Soul Leader safely and then just out-rotate you around that level 10 to 12 marker.
Do you guys agree with this Hunbat's ban instead of a Ratatoskr ban? Ratatoskr did well, but didn't do enough.
It did well, but it wasn't ever able to continue harassing the members of Rival once those late game stages broke up, because Rival stayed grouped up. That was the big threat. It took them a little bit longer, of course, to end the game because of it, because they weren't able to threaten multiple Phoenixes with split push potential. But the fact that they made sure to stay together so that Cyno couldn't have an impact with the Rat is just a smart play. I think that with the Humbats, Splyce would have probably gone for a similar mentality of just looking to cause chaos and disturbances amidst all of the team fighting that's already taken place.
They're encouraging the global pressure Ratatoskr, or maybe wanting to have Splyce pick the Robin in this case, and that's a very aggressive god, so we'll see how Cyno adapts.
So are we going to expect what we saw last game, where Rival's going to be a bit more passive and just wait to the late game and hold it out until they can get that one good team fight?
Allowing Splyce to get to late game here would be problematic. Freya for CycloneSpin, same case in game number 2. It's scary.
It's definitely not something that you ever want to have to deal with, that's for sure. But Splyce can still hold on to a possible Athena ban even. We haven't really seen too much Athena in this set, and I think right around now is the time period for somebody like Collis to try and whip it out.
I can imagine them not wanting to give them Athena with this, especially Raijin and Xbalanque there. There's just too much damage too quickly. But the final ban is going to be...
Oh, there's also Odin on the board still.
They're not going for Odin. After the failed game number 2, Rival have scrapped that in their playbook. They made that change.
Yeah, Odin just wasn't very viable there. Maybe if they had a better comp, or maybe if Splyce just wasn't as competent as they are, it wouldn't work out.
I'm here to crack
Wow.
And there is the Ratatoskr. I wonder if they kind of baited out this rat pick, though.
Maybe, actually. I think they were more worried about Deathwalker because they banned the Sun Wukong, they banned the Amaterasu. Knowing Cyno, he's not worried about that Ratatoskr, but the Raijin Ratatoskr combo, I think, is going to give Rival a huge edge to dive Moswal.
Fenrir coming out for Splyce, and one last pick for them to finish out their comp. And he's got to go fast. It's going to be Mercury.
Wow.
Oops.
This is the first time we're seeing Mercury all set. It was hovered over in the last game by Splyce, instead swapping it to the Ratatoskr. And I like the Ratatoskr play from Cyno. He hit level 5 first in that game and dove right on top of iceicebaby at level 4. And without the Windfire wheels, that was an easy first blood.
I think the big thing about this Mercury also is that you got the long-range Sonic Boom, so in case Rival do just try to all-in commit onto Moswal with the Raijin Rata, they're going to have to worry about the Mercury interruption factor.
Last pick coming out for Rival. Who do you want to see, Anatoly? How do you want to finish out this team?
Probably get a Khepri for Callus. Stick Artio in the soul lane. Go for a defensive Khepri because Mercury is definitely going to be diving. You need to single out whoever he's going to focus with the bubble. There's no Geb available with a ban, so Khepri's the next best alternative.
So you're expecting Splyce to do something that we saw in game number 2, where they're just going to go for the early aggression, constantly be bowling them, and not allow them to really have a chance to recuperate.
I definitely can see that happening. This is going to be Rival's time now to show what it's all about.
How crazy would an Amir be? Well, it looks like Nike is a possible option, but imagine an Amir with all those walls for Splyce to try and deal with.
Don't Tommy, Taco. we saw Amir once, and I believe he went 0-8. So probably not going to see him again. Oh. And they are going to be locking in with the Nike. This is the second Nike of the World Championships, or is this the first?
It's definitely been played before.
Okay.
Maybe not in too much in Season 5, but it's been in Season 4.
No, I mean, but during this tournament, we haven't seen her.
I think Zalia played it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Zalia played it up against Splyce.
Well, why is this a god that we don't normally see in the solo lane?
Honestly, we should be seeing more Nike, if anything, because of that passive Halo, just amplifying more damage for their team, going for the late game focus. It's so difficult to lock down a Nike with the ultimate giving you such a shield boost.
It's also the fact that she has a really slow wind-up, though, because she feels unkillable if you make it into the mid-game, but you have to make it into the mid-game without having been abused in the early.
Taco, Anatoly, this is the final prediction of the entire tournament here at the Alienware Analyst Desk. Taco, who do you give it to for winning the whole thing?
I already told you earlier, I love Moswal to death, but honestly, with the way that both of these teams played, I'd be happy seeing either of them take it home.
I've been right so far, all 4 games. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be right in this 5th one. It's going to be Rival, Kelly.
Hindu, Aggro, Tom, are you guys ready for game number 5 of Splyce versus Rival?
Why would we not be, Kelly? Why would we not be? This is the moment we've all been waiting for all year long. We get to declare a new world champion, and what better way in the last game possible in the series.
Perfect. The stage couldn't be better. This is exactly, Hindu, I gotta say, the script writing skills, A+, my friend. This is Oscar worthy.
I will also say, by the way, I let the fans vote, and well, if you've seen the vote on Twitter, you should know who wins.
Well, game 5, a single game of Smite.
Best of 1.
A singleton.
Yeah, best of 1.
A lonely match.
Still best of 1.
It's not a best of 1, it's a singleton, it's a single game.
What's up, guys?
He just gets tilted whenever I say best of 1. That's why I kept saying it.
Oh,
I know. Best way to start. Beginning of this game, let's have a look around and see what the plan is. Splyce this time round. Seen a lot of interesting starts from both these two teams. Deathwalker back to his usual business, however.
Sure, Deathwalker on the Nike, I love it. I actually really do love it. I think the biggest headline in this game, CycloneSpin has the Valkyrie one more time. Freya was incredible in Splyce's victories. CycloneSpin was rather quiet on the Xbalanque. He's got Freya one more time. That's the biggest deal for me.
And normally I'd be kind of upset about Splyce's comp and be like, oh, this is very magical heavy. But then you look in the jungle and realize, you know, the crit machine is still there.
I would have liked if they went even more magical heavy. I was asking, where's the Cerberus with this comp? Aror and Cyclone have run Cerb Freya so often this year and done so well with it. I think that would have really mitigated the magical heaviness, the heavy magical damage, and it would have done a lot more. But We'll see. The Fenrir is the talk of the town right
That's
now.
the question. How is the matchup against the Fenrir, though?
It's not too bad if you're playing against the Artio, because it wouldn't be the Fenrir. He'd have the Cerberus instead. So you can really use Digi and Torment to cause big problems there up against Artio and Xbalanque, neither of which have any CC immunity.
And what we've seen Splyce do time and time again is use Auror's Fenrir to drag a single player into Moswal's ult. Cerberus can do that to multiple.
I agree. I think that would have been the way to go. I also think that Rival had a disarm available in Nike and they took it, but I think they could have gone with a better one, which is Bellona in this match. I would have really liked to see Bellona here for Deathwalker. Maybe worried about his laning phase up against the Terra, but that doesn't seem too worrisome to me. Curious as to why he went for this. Must be about those late game team fights and the ability. I mean, if it's going to go forever, then you've got that Nike passive.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Last game was 51 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, and the past two were also very long. Nike's a character that is very good in the late game because of her passives, and I think that's why we see her come out versus Bellona.
Now, iceicebaby this game, going to be playing the Ratatoskr, and as we know, he's generally quite slow and focused on farming in the early game, looking for the right sort of moments. Thing is, though, he's going to be up against this Mercury, and Mercury's major focus is farm. Does Cyno need to look for kills or just focus himself on farm?
He can really focus himself on farm for the most part. Maybe try and set Wlfy behind the mid lane early. That's the one area that I think Splyce has kind of dropped the ball a little bit, and that's putting pressure on a Rival's mid laner, specifically in the last game where Wlfy was really the determining factor in Rival's victory.
Yeah, really what I want to see out of Cyno is kind of more of a head-down approach. As long as iceicebaby isn't running rampant and really using his ultimate every time it's up, Cyno has the luxury of going and just farming until he's crazy Mercury. It's up to Team Rival to set the pace of this game, and Iceice looks like he wants to go fast.
Yeah, Aror on this left-hand side, though, is spotting Iceice out, and he's doing a very good job, the dual lane of Splyce, to keep Rival interested over there, to keep him trying to look for a gank, delaying the amount of experience he's going to get.
Especially knowing Aror, he wants to jump in. He's playing Fenrir support. That's what this pick is designed to do for you. So I like the idea by Rival to try and hang out and bait themselves and let Iceice be the cleanup man, but Splyce is a little bit too headsy to fall for.
So Team Rival right now looking for anything as far as the early game is concerned. And again, Iceice needs to hit level 5. Just farm up 5 and gank. And then gank. And then gank and gank. That's what I want to see. I think Rival can win this if iceicebaby just gets off to a hot start.
And getting the Acorn on early, already has it. Don't need to get an early kill for that. Don't even need to back to base before that's an option. And that's one thing that he has over Mercury even, is that he can stay on the map for a long time and really farm it out quickly, whereas Cyno at some point is going to need to go back to base to finish off his boots and golden bull.
Well, the first 4 minutes of this game have been pretty uneventful, and I'm not really surprised by that with how much is on the line and how quick the last couple of games have begun. But here could be the first gank. In the sky already is iceicebaby, looking to maybe use the trees on the left-hand side. Comes down onto Aror, knock-up stun, but CycloneSpin with a beautiful banish.
Instantaneous. That's really what that was. Just a great reflex coming from Cyclone.
Plus, it's the positioning in the first place. Cyclone's hugging the left side wall. There's no way that Ice is going to be able to get all the way to him without being seen if he's on the left side wall, as opposed to where Aror was, who can get spotted out, but won't be in nearly as much danger.
Did Cyclone know Cyno was there until he landed?
I don't think so. I think that caught both Splyce duo members by surprise.
Well, they got the noise.
Quick reaction.
Yeah, they got the noise, so we can immediately turn around here, that sound effect of the rat falling, and go, oh, he must be nearby. Great banish, though, after the fact, just to keep things tied up. No super pressure anywhere else. Talking about pressure, though, Sonic Boom is being charged.
Cyno's here. Can make the play onto the right side lane. Deathwalker only about 45, so instead goes for the clear. Doug right there showing us the ward vision from Team Rival.
The wards were right on point to keep an eye on where Cyno was going, and now Cyno getting engaged on by iceicebaby. Lost most of his health, and now comes in Wlfy, looking for the cleanup kill. The Aegis is helping out, but Wlfy's gonna go down in trade, thanks to the Crips out of Moswal.
Wonderful play by Moswal. Cyno just gets kind of caught up in the jungle. Rival play aggressively there, and Cyno can't get out. Mozzie can either walk away or help his teammate and look for the response.
That's absolutely worth it for Rival, even with Moswal ending up getting that cleanup kill onto Wlfy for multiple reasons. Number one, they got first blood. They also got Cyno's Aegis, and Vote gets an assist via use of that global ultimate. So that's multiple members of Rival that got a little bit of a boost from that kill. Yes, it's good that Splyce got the return, but Rival's happy with the result.
For now, at least, that'll be the case. Left-hand side, purple buff being done by Rival at the moment, and Auror's in the area to keep an eye on it. It's Cyno now back with his Golden Blade online, and this is where the clear starts to really pick up.
Yeah, we saw it on the blue buff there. Golden Blade is going to be able to spread your basic attack damage, and Cyno has an ability that's basic attack damage, so the camps just explode. Now that this item is finished, I want to see Cyno play aggressively. Maybe I want to see Boots before he starts invading, but that's a big part of the Mercury game plan.
Well, if he waits until Boots, it also gives him time to get his Aegis back up, which is going to be critical for him. He needs to have that extra bit of survivability against how much burst damage Rival has in their mid 2v2.
Really interesting to see the adaptation of both these two junglers throughout the set as well. A lot of pressure early on from Rival to the solo lane. Some of that iceicebaby and Deathwalker have done consistently through the season, whereas Cyno focused towards the dual lane. This game, though, if you've noticed it, Cyno's heading to this right-hand side a lot more towards Deathwalker, where at the same time, iceicebaby ganking the duo lane.
Deathwalker just doesn't have that much as far as fight back ability. He's incredibly hard to kill, which is different than the mid laner.
Moswal used the Aegis early, but the drums are out from Wlfy too. Everybody on Rival and the crits though, and it will be a 1-for-1 so far. Moswal ends up falling down, and as Aror comes in, Cyno goes in. Callus is gonna fall, or is he?
No, he might get away. Cyno needs one more, but here comes CycloneSpin. Banish. See you later. Callus falls to Cyclone.
CycloneSpin banishes Callus, and that sets him up. You remember game 2? That's what happened. CycloneSpin, about 10 minutes in, makes an early Freya rotation, banishes, sets up the kill. It's eerily similar, and I'm kind of scared.
And big brain plays from Cyno to not get the kill mid-early and then let CycloneSpin come in and get the actual last hit to set up the Freya for some more success. That was his plan, by the way.
Same time, Cyno's ultimate there, time to perfection, because a second later, I'm pretty sure Aror was dead to rights in that situation.
Just being able to help the teammate there, really, really clean stuff from Cynosure. Loving what Splyce is bringing here in game number 5.
I just love Cyno's counter ganks. For some reason, he always seems to time it to exactly the right moment.
He's got great game instincts, and that's more valuable than just about anything to a jungler. Knowing where to be at the right time ends up putting you in great position to succeed.
Gotta point him out again. The Jeremy Scott's on display. The winged boots. Talaria. Cyno's able to run around the map more efficiently. That's why you're mentioning his timing. He can make it to those team fights because he likes buying these boots. I'm a huge fan.
And unlike other junglers or supports or whatever, you're not giving up nearly as much damage on the Mercury because his passive converts movement speed into power. So that extra movement speed that Talaria gives him makes him that much stronger in these moments.
As you can see, the power just gaining up and up as he moves around the map to a full effect, and means the next bit of damage he's going to do, he's going to swing that little bit harder. It's not as if he didn't swing hard enough already.
That's what makes Mercury the bang sort of burst character instead of this extended basic attack character. The passive allows him to just punch over the top.
Splyce is in a good spot at this point because they've got their Freya with her boots and no deaths in that lane quite yet. Vote's going to have to go for a stacking item, whereas Freya does not. Cyclone's ready to fight.
And he's got a banish off on iceicebaby. Aror on the backside forcing out 2 members, but Iceice will slip the net. Had no beads in that situation, but it was fine.
Aror also uses his ultimate to get away. That's kind of rough.
That's a lot of the initiation and fight potential that Splyce has this early on. Mercury is very good at those counter gank options, but not always your best fight starter.
I was kind of okay with it because there was an initiation potentially going on, so him just in that dog defense mode more than anything else going, okay, come towards me, I'm going to pick you up.
You ever, it's when the dog kind of like bows down to you and wants to play. It's exactly what he does right there, and nobody really wants to play with Aror.
So already Spirit that Magus online for Wlfy in the mid lane. We've seen a lot more of these penetration builds early on the mid lane mages, and that's because we've seen a lot of the supports going for magical defense.
2 versus 1 on the right-hand side. Trouble for Divios, but it's all about Team Rival. Collapsing, but he's got so much HP.
Cyno on the rotation as his Moswal, and Rival know this because of the ward, so immediately Rival fall back too. Left-hand side though, Cyclone's getting a bit aggressive in a 2v1.
He's going to be aggressed on now in trouble, 75%. Wants to fight back. The basics are swinging. and it sends Kalas packing.
But now the commit for
No
Vote.
way.
Vote could be in trouble. Problem being Wlfy's made a rotation. CycloneSpin goes down. He just bit off more than he could chew.
No, absolutely not. Cyclone has been successful. Call a spade a spade. Bad play.
Unlucky there for Cyclone. You're right, though. It's just the bad decision-making.
It was
Not
close.
exactly what he's looking for.
It was close.
It's close, but that doesn't get you a kill. Vote's able to get that assist, a couple extra stacks on that passive as well because of the ability to just hit Cyclone enough while his team was there to support.
I'm just glad Tom said nothing about horseshoes, because I still don't understand that reference.
I was on the way.
I
Close
know.
only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, all right?
It still doesn't make sense.
Probably counts in some other stuff too, right? I mean, there's got to be at least one more thing where being close counts.
Like what?
I don't know. I'm not the guy who's asking the question.
Cricket.
3-3, 11.5 minutes in the game right now. Goal is even between these two teams in the final game. Experience, marginal difference, 600, 400 experience. But the oracles are an important factor. Those two little oracles on the ground being contested now give free vision around the Gold Fury pit. And Aror's having none of that from Rival, as Kalas is already dead. Iceice went to the back, didn't work out well. But now they've opened up for Splyce a little bit here.
This is what they're doing every time. Unleash the Crips. The dog brings the bone. Buries it underneath the graveyard.
Oh, he's
every
watching.
time.
Watch out for Vote. No, he won't get it in time. Splyce, get the first goal view of the game. I love the commitment after the fact.
Huge, and I talk about it a lot without Puch. He's not just your area denial anti-heal mage. He's got great objective secure. It's not quite quick, but it needs some time to set up. But Corpse Explosion does roughly 10 billion damage whenever you've got all your corpses down. And that's great trust in Moswal. Splyce has been a team all weekend that's been very hesitant to take objectives, even after they win fights. Not that time.
The trust. That's the biggest deal. That's really what Splyce has done. We talked about the journey, and a big part of that journey is the team learning to rely on each other. And again, I can't mention it enough. We talk about him during picks and bans, but we have to talk about him with respect to how this team has grown together. Coach Kabam driving it home. This is a 6-man team, and Splyce is the better for it. And guess who's across the way? Another 6-man team. Team Rival, Alpha Jackal, a big deal. That's not a coincidence that these two coaches are a big deal.
Well, as it stands now, even though they've got a bit of a lead, Splyce, Rival completely not out of this. Both these compositions can go towards the late game, feeling very comfortable with the opposition that they've got. As we look at the right-hand side here, I thought Deathwalker might get in a bit of trouble there for a minute, but it's actually Rival grouping up around the Pyromancer. The CycloneSpin continues to pressure this lane after getting picked earlier on.
I'm sure no one had any plans in the next 35, 45 minutes, because we all should know that this game is going long at this point. I mean, these two teams have had that back and forth action, but both being so good on the defensive means that I don't think it's possible for a team to win this set quickly.
The crowd here has been incredible at Dreamhack, and what's great right now, it's silent, but it's that eerie silent. It's that tension. Everybody knows how much is on the line right now, and I don't think anybody is leaned back. Everybody's ready.
I also think it's because nobody really knows who's going to win this, because it's been that sort of day, that sort of weekend, that sort of year in the world of Smite where it's not always come up as you would expect it to have.
No, there's been so many comebacks this year, and in moments where you feel like the game is over, right? There's no way that a team gets back from this position, and then they do, and that's what makes it so exciting.
Kalas engaging with CycloneSpin. Cyclone couldn't find the banish, and Kalas gives him a cheeky roar just to put himself back within tower range for the time being. Nothing really going on.
So Cyclone plays the Bola character and this one, but Cyno gonna play on the right-hand side, looking for Divios.
iceicebaby going in on Divios. Divios under a lot of pressure. Walls come down and Divios double dashes away. No stress, but he will blink too. Crowd cheers as they watch Divios make their great escape.
Easy for Divios. That Terra just too difficult to knock down in these situations. Already 3 items deep. He's got tons of protection and CDR.
But now Splyce looking for an extra objective. It's not big, it's not flashy, but it's an extra bit of gold in the coffers, and Rival caught with their pants down a little bit there.
A little bit, and they've already invested a decent amount in Darkest of Nights and that through the Cosmos ultimates. Those are 2 globals that you're not going to be able to use to defend that Pyromancer. I love Splyce going for the objective.
But look at the experience difference. You just saw it on the screen. Even though we've seen Splyce getting a couple of these objectives, Rival are technically doing very well in the farm.
They absolutely are. Rival are doing what they need to do. but Splyce's approach to this game is how Rival won game number 1. Bit by bit, small objective by small objective. They're not rolling the dice on these giant tower sieges or the Gold Furies. They got a gold, but it's just about the Pyromancer and here, 1, 2, slow and steady.
Really excited as well to see both these mages at the moment in a very comfortable position so far, both with kills on the board. Both taking a tumble too, but Cyno with kills on the board, just getting into the zone, especially with the jungles being behind. This could be a very big game for both of them.
Surprised that Moswal isn't finishing off that Book of Souls start-off item that he had and finishing with Soul Reaver, which is what he's done basically all weekend long. And it looks like instead he's going to go for an early ChronoSpin to try and reset these fights very quickly. And that actually makes a lot of sense because think of the way that Splyce has been fighting. It's been jump in, Ragnarok, get one kill with use of Empty the Crypts, and then we can't really do a lot for a while because we don't have our big Wombo combo. But with this ChronoSpin, that'll allow Splyce to play around these objectives a little bit and get the next fight going more quickly.
He's also been jumped on a number of times, and a lower cooldown on the corpses means a stronger sense of being able to sustain himself in those moments, whether he wants to make engagements a little bit more happenstance or he just wants to survive a little bit more. That cooldown is going to work out well.
Rival around the Gold Furies, it's spawning again this time round. Splyce got the last one quite comfortably after a team fight that went in their favor. But Rival hanging around early on, trying to get some ward vision. Not enough grouping, however, for much more than that as Callus and Wlfy return to the mid lane.
I was saying earlier why the Nike instead of the Bologna for Deathwalker, but I think a large reason is because Aror is going to be looking for him with those jump stuns in the Sunder, and Bologna could have gotten blown up, whereas Nike has that big health shield.
Gold Fury started up, but straight away, iceicebaby goes to the sky, using that tree to try and look for an opportunity. But Splyce reset.
Big win, big win. iceicebaby's ultimate is an initiation. It's a counter initiation. It's a peel. It's a backline aggressor. It's an objective secure. It's an objective delay. That on cooldown means Splyce have so many options of what they want to do.
And now they can just set up these corpses and wait. Just wait for Moswal to be ready to secure it. That's the whole group right there. Moswal's got no more ready to go.
Well, the graveyard is staying in place, as you say, and Aror goes in, looking for Callus, picks him up. Black Dark is a nice, comes into play straight away. Moswal engaged on by Deathwalker. Moswal needs some help and gets it from both Cyclone and Cyno at the same time, but that leaves Divios all alone. Cyclone still gets Deathwalker, and actually this fight goes the way of Splyce.
Becomes a 5-on-4 so far. Splyce gonna look to the objective. 90% of the Gold Fury so far. Team Rival now seeping in, and Splyce can't do it.
Big Gold Fury for both as the banish misses from Cyclone, but he still steps forward looking for the power shot. And straight away they go back to the gold. Corpse is still down on the ground if required.
Rival saw Aror back. He backed on that ward on the bottom side of this little peninsula, so they know that this is still an even fight.
Walls hit onto Vote as now Callus on his way back from base, so is Aror. Meanwhile though, Divios goes to the back line, keeps Vote as honest as he can, and Wlfy's in a bit of trouble. The burst was good, and in comes Cyno, looks for the crit, but there is Callus to deny the option.
Right, Team Rival gonna stop everyone except for Divios. Finds him in the back line, puts one down. The door is open for Splyce.
Gold Fury is going to be available now, and that's all it needed to force Rival back.
Oh no, iceicebaby has that ultimate ready. This could be a contest, but no, Rival gonna give it up. Splyce end up breaking the game open, nearing a 5K gold lead already. And it's all about that initiation from Aror again. This Fenrir pick, I was asking for Cerberus. I'm an idiot. Fenrir's the best. This man is just going in and finding the priority targets every single time, and even with Deathwalker playing that fight near perfectly, it still wasn't enough.
But he's been doing that since Season 1 on Fenrir and the Fat Chunk days. He's just got back to it now in Season 5. It's not a surprise to me. Other people have just been adapting to it.
Season 5,
What?
they're bringing it back.
What?
The Fire Giant being started.
Hello?
Rival don't know. They're doing mid-heartbeats.
Oh no, they know. They know
gonna find
Deathwalker's going to walk around the corner. Crypts are already emptied. Into the sky goes the run. Fire Giant goes to Splyce. In the sky is Ice looking for a dunk. He's waiting to help out Deathwalker. But Deathwalker's already dead.
Meanwhile, Splyce continuing to try and chase down. Cyno comes through. There's the ultimate. Everybody piling damage in. And Wlfy turns around and pushes Splyce back.
All 5 members with the Fire Giant now for Splyce. It's not an empowered one, but it is going to help them to start getting a bit of a gold lead.
Man, Splyce goes from, let's take every game to 55 minutes to, I think we won our ring right now. They go to the Fire Giant right away and just count on Rival not being ready, and Splyce was absolutely right.
Tier 2 tower's going to fall in the mid lane too, and the question is, does Splyce keep marching on?
Yes.
They're going to keep
Holy,
marching on. They're looking for a Phoenix. This is early on in the game, Tom, but there's a great banish.
Deathwalker's dead, and so is Collis. Moswal comes through, puts him in the ground.
Phoenix still alive though, and still work to be done.
Watch out.
But a catch up to the right is important. He has to dash to the right-hand side. Phoenix falls down in mid at 20 minutes in the game.
Wlfy gets aggressive, tries to make a fight on the right-hand side. All of a sudden, there's the Crips one more time. Aror goes down to Deathwalker. Rival punish Splyce.
But that's totally fine. Splyce just lost a support for another kill and a mid Phoenix. They are in complete control. They've got this game by the throat.
And that was all down to the Fire Giant call. It was a risky call.
It was.
Me and you both agree. Risky, but they rivaled it.
They rivaled it. They showed them how it's done with the rivaling, man. They went straight towards fire, and I love the aggressiveness because you talked about conditioning last game, Tom. Splyce has been, we won that fight, we've got 3 up, but we'll just back. We're not gonna risk it. This is a very conservative team around these objectives until the time where Rival assumes that they're free. They're scot-free from that position, but they weren't.
This is game 5 of the World Championship. As the famous philosopher Raymond Pecky says, you gotta risk it for the biscuit. And that's what we see Splyce doing. They're here for all of the marbles.
Man, High-Tech Peck has really got the phrases on lock. Couldn't agree more with him, and I love the call from Splyce because they had, look, if they lose that fire, picture this. Let's say you're a team, your backs are against the wall, you could be eliminated this game. You've got a slight lead, you go to Fire Giant, you miss your secure, the other team gets it, and they end the game off of it. Does that sound familiar? Because that's what happened to Rival last
Kraken.
year against E United, but this time Splyce able to secure it for themselves.
But once again, Rival in the same position they found themselves in. Game 5 in the finals against a North American opposition. They were underdogs last time coming into this. Today coming into this, they were probably favorites with how it was.
They have been, but with the way that Splyce has played this weekend, I don't know how you ever bet against them. So Rival throughout the entire year, sure, they've looked like the more consistent, better team over the course of a year. Unfortunately for them, HRX is this weekend only.
10,000 gold in the lead. Splyce looking to play aggressive. Cyno's charged and ready. He's waiting for the call. There's a push forward. Divios goes to the back line. Cyno changes his target, looks for the jungler. Now it's all about the left-hand side. Wlfy banging on the drums. Moswal letting loose the crypts, and Rival moonwalking backwards. Splyce looking for the hit.
But iceicebaby's up in the sky, and Aror's pretty damn low right now. The knockup comes through. The silence makes an impact. Iceice still alive, but Moswell's low.
Cyno!
Sonic boom from Cyno doesn't do anything. That was Wlfy that came up big. Wlfy gets the kill on Moswell, and Splyce have to fall back. Rival defend.
Fantastic defense from the Europeans. They bait the ultimate coming out from Moswal. They ignore it, and then they re-engage. Textbook play of how you deal with Opwash.
I agree. Moswal was just a little bit too tardy or too early with that ultimate. One way or the other, it wasn't the right time for that empty the crypts, and instead Rival's able to disengage and use iceicebaby's ultimate as a reinitiation.
So with the Phoenix being down in the middle lane, the left one does stay alive. Once the middle one respawns, that left-hand side will start to regenerate a little bit too, just to help out this team. Now the Fire Giant is about a minute and a half away.
And that call is pretty risky from Splyce. They could have played it more conservatively, gone to the right-hand side, get those 2 towers off the map, push our lead up to 11, 12K, and then be able to get the Fire Giant with a lot more guaranteed pressure on our side. Feels like Splyce is letting it get the better of them for a little bit here with this crowd. They've got to slow it down now and understand that they're in the lead. They are in control, but it's still their game to lose.
Wlfy just now finishing off some anti-heal. He's got the Divine Ruin, so some of that healing from Divios is going to be neutralized.
It will be, but it's less about the healing right now for Earth and Fury and more about that initiation damage. That's where Blink ends up being a lot better for you if you see anti-heal on the other side, because you're not worried about healing your team up with that ultimate. You're worrying about killing the opposition.
Positioning right now between these two shows me that Rival want to try and contest the Fire Giant.
They should.
All 10 members on this right-hand side of the map. Fire Giant begins for now. Middle Phoenix has respawned, and the wave has been pushed up relatively well, but Cyno is going to go in!
Looking for Wlfy. Gets beats.
Big beats.
Close. Cyno loving him playing aggressively, and that might be enough to make Rival reconsider this fight, because Wlfy, as soon as he gets anywhere near Divios, is going to get blinked on.
Callus going to try and walk up. Deathwalker first to lead the pack in. iceicebaby walks up too. Fire Giant at 2,500. Fire Giant goes to Splyce. But what about the fight after the fact? Deathwalker got his ultimate off, but he eats the whole of the crypts.
Goodbye.
And Deathwalker's off the map.
It doesn't even matter. Rival, retreat. Splyce have the Fire Giant. They have the momentum. They have the crowd. They're looking for the middle lane right now. The Phoenix has respawned, but they're looking to take it down, and the crowd wants to see it too.
They've got a great opportunity. 5-on-4. Ultimates are down, but Sonic Boom should be up soon. Ice is looking for a target, and he's going to find Moswal.
But can he get the damage off in time? He's
Oh,
already
no!
lost all his health. Aegis will get him
Boom.
away, but the middle Phoenix falls once more. Aurora still under pressure as Callus goes under pressure.
He didn't realize CycloneSpin was behind him, and he got all of that damage up front.
Won't be trying to end here, Splyce. A little bit low, accepting the fact they just get the Phoenix again. No overdoing it.
And I love this call because they've been very aggressive. And Aggro has brought up a number of times that they've systematically been going for the more conservative route. Now they've changed pace, but here where it matters, they go back to the play style.
All in all with the team, though, you got to think about it as well. As long as the team's all on the same page, we've discussed this so many times. Even if it's a good call or a bad call, you do the same thing. The fact they all fall back at the same time keeps them all alive, and now they can look for more.
And now they've got all their ultimates back up again. Splyce is looking like they're in a great spot, because look at their carries. All the carries have their defensive relics up, at least Moswal and CycloneSpin, and Cyno's only missing that extra relic. He still has beads up as on top of that. So this is a point where Splyce can really take advantage, because iceicebaby, relicless, vote, no beads, and he lost them at the very end of that last fight, the Cyno's dash. Wlfy still vulnerable for 30 seconds.
Shout out to Captain Twig, the Frostbound hammer on the Mercury coming through. I think that's actually a big deal of what's allowing Rival to sort of get trapped up here. Major Look and the basics are going to slow down the entire squad.
But bigger than that for me is the 300 health. I mean, it just gives him that little bit of extra protection. He's still not losing damage. He can still be in the middle of the fights. It lets him box beautifully up against iceicebaby. If Ice gets caught without a dash, he's dead up against Cyno.
Now, experience at this point in time isn't that important because both teams relatively even, and that only Wlfy needing that level 20 mark. Gold, however, definitely still matters. Extra potions, extra items. Look at the builds from Rival. Couple of members still have either slots empty or not complete full items.
And this Nike pick that was supposed to be able to live through the Sunder and Ragnarok
Good luck with that.
has not worked. Even through the full health shield, Deathwalker's
Yep.
gotten it off, but it just hasn't worked.
And we go though with Splyce onto the Phoenix again, the left-hand side. Keep an eye on Cyno as Callus is brought back in.
One more time, iceicebaby goes to the sky. Here comes
Callus is dead.
CycloneSpin. Callus caught up in the spin cycle.
iceicebaby goes in and dips straight back out. So one pick so far for Splyce. They wait again.
Cyno still has that ultimate available. He's still got Sonic Boom, and there it is! Right on top of Wlfy, and puts him down!
Cyno still boxing away, looking at Deathwalker. Won't be able to find more, but it's all about the Phoenix.
Cyno falls back with the rest of the squad. Doesn't want to get too over-aggressive. Left Phoenix, down. Mid Phoenix, down. Right side's up, but it's the only one. Deathwalker lifted up. Jumps back to the back line, but in the Titan room, everyone from Splyce surging in.
They're gonna try and end the game right now. Splyce are gonna be your Season 5 World Champions. This is their moment.
Can you believe it? The Smite World Championships presented by Mixer 2018. Not only do we get a North America versus EU, not only do we get a game 5, but it is a fantastic 5-game set.
It is so impressive. That man on your screen, Aror and CycloneSpin, evolving since their days in Fat Chunks Assemble, winning now in Season 5. What a set.
It's been a glow up for just about everybody on this team, minus Cyclone and Divios. I think they've both had former success in the past, but Moswal from Noble in Season 4 to now being a Season 5 world champion here at Dreamhack Atlanta.
I mean, just the way that they evolved from these games, how they learned, how Kabam helped them all, and the whole story coming from it, starting from the spring split, coming from the 6th seed, the bottom of the SPL, to be here, the world champions.
There's something about living all under one roof, and that's what this team committed to with the coach Kabam there during that summer split under his New Jersey beach house. He was able to really get and unite everybody with more team synergy, and I've never seen a team more synergetic than those 5 players right there on the stage, pulling a fast one on Rival.
It was just incredible, though, the fact that they were able to acquire not only the Freya, but Terra and Puch in their first 3 picks during that banning phase. I am just amazed and in awe, but their execution could not have been better.
The best of 5 meta just quickly evolves to the point where Mercury gets forgotten about, and Cyno had a wonderful performance on that god.
And it is with that note that we are going to be giving our MVP of the set and of the World Championships to Cyno. Finch, what words does this jungle master have for us?
Well, I am here with Cyno, MVP for Splyce, the world's MVP for PC after a great performance. I know there's a lot going on right now, man. The first thing I gotta ask, what does it mean to be able to perform at this level for your team, for everyone here, for all the people that came in and supported you?
I mean, this is really the first LAN that I really performed at. I've been to LANs before, but I never really did well. I really want to do well. Like, I love my teammates. I literally wouldn't want to win Worlds with anyone else. I'm so glad I was able to perform to them. I'm so happy we were able to win.
No, absolutely, man. I can see the emotion from you here, and congratulations to all of you. There's no way I can't ask you guys about that 20-minute fire giant you just did with Worlds on the line. I mean, what was going through comms? How did you guys know that was the play to make that would help push you guys to this win?
I mean, Raijin was still dead. We all just backed. We were all just on our power spikes. And then we saw Vote and left. Like, what is he doing left? I don't know. So we just did a fire.
Well, you were so confident coming in here, man. They spent so much time banning out your picks, banning away Naja's, Erlong's, everything from you. I mean, you have anything to say now? It seems like there's nothing they could do to slow you down in this set.
I don't know. I can play anything, but you also have to ban Naja. They give it to me twice, so that just, when they didn't ban Naja, they lost the set. I don't know.
And I want to make sure you get your trophy here as well, man. MVP, Cyno, and it's heavy, man. Make sure you hold on to it for me. MVP, raise it up for him, man. Very impressive performance. Again, congratulations to you, congratulations to the entirety of Splyce. You can hear how much it meant to everyone here in the crowd. And I'd like to thank everyone that watched as well, all the other casters, everyone in production, everyone that helped make this possible. It means so much to everyone here at Dreamhack Atlanta. Thank you all for showing up, and we appreciate you, everyone that's watching at home as well. We are gonna have a post-game interview with all these guys. I know they have a ton of emotions right now, so make sure you stick with us. We'll be right back to hear from your world champions. Splyce brought it home.
All right, guys. Hi, it's Tom Manager here, F-Dot. I just got a chance to cast what you guys just did. Straight up, I'm going to ask you an easy one. Aror, clearly something's up. What does this mean to you?
I don't know. I can't even put it into words. Like, I'm so happy for everybody on the team as well. Like, we all worked so hard this entire year. I mean, we were in last place in spring split. I mean, it was a long climb up. I knew everybody though on this team that I had, even Best, which it sucks that he's not here and everything, but I'm so happy to have Moswal, the craziest mid laner I've ever played with in my life. But like, everybody worked so hard, And like, I don't know, I'm just so happy for everybody. I don't even know how to put it into words. I mean, there's so much that went into it from everybody on the team. There's just not one person that you can give all the credit to. I mean, everybody's just amazing. I don't know, I can't even put it into words right now.
Game 1, Rival came out and basically stomped you guys. That was the first loss you've taken all weekend. What was the thought process like after that first game?
We were like, we should have picked Neja, and then we did. And then we won 2 straight games. Simple as that.
Yeah, stick to the game plan, basically.
Sign of the confidence level on you is out of control, and that's probably a big part of why you guys won. You have a very different kind of path, though. You played on console, you played on PC. You floundered to find your spot. Is this your spot?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope I deserve to be here. I think I do.
I think so as well. Moswal, you as well. I mean, you started out this year. You weren't even on an SML team, I don't think. I mean, you were watching. Talk to me about your year to end up here.
I was sitting there not playing at all, and then they randomly asked me if I wanted to play. And then I did, basically.
Very simple conversation there. There's a lot of familiar faces behind this table for those that have been watching Smite for a long time. We referenced the Fat Chunks. We've seen Divios on Cog Red. CycloneSpin's been doing it for years. A long time coming seems to be kind of the catchphrase going on right now. How does that feel after so long to finally be here?
Amazing. I mean, that was the whole goal from the beginning of the year. I mean, every player has that goal to do this. I mean, it doesn't even feel real right now still. I just can't believe it still. It's just, I'm in shock. Like this whole week didn't even feel like, I didn't even feel like anything until now, and it's just all hitting me right now, and it's just crazy. I don't know, I'm at a loss for words, basically. It's just insane.
Before we go, I actually want to make him say something in this interview because he's been doing it forever and he deserves to say something. What am I saying?
Yeah, Cyclone, come up front and center for us, man. We want to hear a little bit from you as well. I mean, there was a lot of talk, even from me myself, about your godful, about your performance in the Switch.
Yeah,
I think you've absolutely proved everyone wrong here with your performance in fall and at this LAN. What does it mean for you to be able to show everyone how strong you can play here in this role too?
I just wanted to show everyone that I'm not washed up like everyone thinks I am. And all the hard work we put up together all year finally paid off for us.
While we're getting Splyce members who haven't talked, Divios, I mean, as Tom mentioned, it's been a long time coming for you as well. I mean, you take a year off competitively, basically. What about coming back? What was right with this team, and did you expect to end up here this soon?
After spring split, spring split wasn't great, but we beat every team. We got one game at least of everyone, so I had faith. And then summer, it really helped when we all got in the same house together. And then fall, just everything, it all clicked after we got Moswal and we found our own little meta.
I've been excited to kind of watch Aror ascend to being the leader of a pack. But Kabam, you've been a part of the scene for a long time and have always seemed, for those that know you, to be a very coach-type person.
Yeah.
Now you're finally doing it. What does this mean to you as a coach to bring home the victory with Splyce?
I'm not going to just say it feels really good, but I'm ecstatic about it. I'm really lucky that I have 5 people that are super smart. Everyone, I just want to clear the air too. Everyone's congratulating on me on my drafts. It's our drafts. They all contributed. None of us do it alone, except Moswal. Sometimes he sleeps. But it's a whole team. We all worked super hard. It wasn't any one person doing it. After every game, we talked about adapting to whatever they were doing. We were really worried originally that if we didn't win or at least I was, they weren't, they didn't care. But I was like, if we don't win the first game, it's going to be worrying about adapting. And then at the last game, they're going to get choice. So, but we won 2 in a row, which was pretty big momentum. Feels really, really amazing.
Another thing is too, I want to say going into this week after we played Obey, we knew we could out-team fight anybody, basically. So as long as we got to the team fight stage, we knew we were in a good spot, honestly. And that just goes to show how much trust we have in each other during the game. It's just, like I said, I don't know.
As you said, Aror, during spring, everyone has the same goal. Everyone expects to try and win. But after one win in the spring split, did you really think that this is where you were going to end up?
Yeah. I knew we could do it. I shouldn't say, not that we would end up here, but I knew everybody on my team that I had was capable of being at this level and capable of getting this strong. Like over the whole season, this is the worst season for supports ever. All the season 2, season 3, and season 4, we were so broken. It was ridiculous. And this season, it's awful. I'm a walking relic half the game, for half the game in the late game, and it's like I knew that I was confident in everybody else in my team the entire year. I knew Cyclone switched to Hunter. I knew he's going to keep getting better and better. And then also playing on West Coast Spin, coming over here and playing East. Like, I mean, there's just so many things that I knew that we could do, and I knew that we were just going to get better like along the way. And we just learned from the journey that we had, basically.
Certainly happened. The journey ends here as world champions. Is there anybody else you'd like to thank or anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, I want to thank, I want to thank all my family and all my friends that came here.
We all do, actually. Huge buff.
I mean, I had 24, 26 people, I don't know, somewhere between 20 and 30 people come this week, and like, I'm so lucky, basically, to have them.
We can also say thanks to Splyce.
Yeah, thank you, Splyce.
Yeah.
Also, shout outs to Team Money.
Also, shout outs to my girlfriend.
And DJ Pernicus.
Gotta do that.
Thanks, man.
And Team Money.
Oh yeah, we got the DJ Pernicus blessing last night. So.
We did.
And Team Money said we're gonna win. So
That's true.
It's pretty easy after that.
Well, as you said, it's all about the journey, and the journey ends here for this year with you guys raising Thor's hammer. Congratulations, you are Season 5 Smite World Champions. Splyce, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.